Today I'm going to be jumping on the 2023 Honda Goldwing. Come take a ride with me. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Chris from Chris Rides and Low Rides. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Chris from Chris Rides and Low Rides. Stay tuned because who knows where we're going to go next. So from the rear of the bike, that's the look you get. It comes with the two tail lights right there and a reflector over the top of the license plate. And factory, you have your tailpipes here, and out of the tailpipes you have two tailpipes that stick out. And I've seen where, not that stick out, but that you can see from in there. But I saw where you could purchase aftermarket exhaust, and it basically, instead of having those two right there, it has one opening, and it's electronically controlled. The baffle inside is electronically controlled. But as far as what this comes with, it does come with standard with heated seats, and with those heated seats, the rear seat person can control their heat level right here, as to whereas the rider can control their heat from right there, and the heated grips from the button right there. So the buttons are pretty big, and you can't miss them while you're riding or while you have your gloves on. All the buttons are pretty large, and the grips themselves are pretty large. So what's this right here? This is actually emergency brake. So parking on a hill, parking at any elevated spots, you can just go ahead and lift that up just like a car. It's pretty funny, but it's functional. What are these black things right here? These are guards, so like the bike tips over, these are your saddlebag guards, and that one right there is your engine guard. They sell something to where you can cover these up in chrome if you like. This right here is the center stand. All of them come with the center stand, something you don't have to add on. The windshield is pretty tall as it comes, but when you turn the bike on, you can automatically adjust your windshield, and that's one of the features that I like. So the bike's automatically in neutral because it's automatic, so you get that display when it cuts on. And to lift the windshield, you just push that button there. We'll lift it up, the windshield goes up, and to lift it down, that's what you do. So you have, it automatically comes with, you have your highway lights, and they're pretty bright. These are bright LED lights, as you can see, and just a little bit of a look on the inside where you can see the front suspension is very nice. You have dual side rotors, and this bike stops really well. One thing I noticed is that when you engage the rear brake, it also engages some of the front brake for you, and when you engage the front brake, it also engages and interacts with the rear brake. So I like that feature. And the bike has 4 different modes. Let me get out of the wind. So right now it's in tour mode, as you can see, and you have a mode toggle right there, so you could toggle through all your modes: sport, econ, rain, touring, and back to sport. This right here shows like your level of your heat and your seat from the heated grips, things like that. I'm showing you as a home button to get you back to the home screen. One of the things that I wish this had was, I'm used to my Harleys just touching the screen. This is not a touch screen, and the way you control the screen is either through this I don't know what you call it, maybe a joystick or something, I don't know, because it's pretty big. You can control it with that, or you control it with your hands here, and you can turn that volume down and adjustment there. So the gauges, right now I have 190 miles of range. I've rode the bike 200 miles so far, and it's telling me that the air temperature is 75. So you have the standard speedometer on one side, and the other was a tachometer and RPMs on the other side. So I'm gonna turn it to accessory mode so I can turn the headlight off, and you still see some of the electronics easily switchable to accessory mode, or turn it off that direction. It's that switch feels pretty comfortable. It's like spring loaded, and it's a comfortable feel. I like looking down in there because you could actually, when you're riding, you can see a lot of that movement going on. And while I'm riding and the bike is going pretty smooth, I just see all the features in there moving up and down, back and forth, and I think that's pretty cool. And one thing also about the bike that I like is it's very, very balanced. So what they did, they put the engine down on the bottom, and also the tank sits right there underneath the seat. So I have removed the seat, and you can see the tank right there. I think it's a 5-gallon tank. And when I filled up, it said I had 194 mile range, which for a touring bike, I would think that you would, want to get more range than that. But I guess sometimes people need to just stop and go inside or use the restroom or whatever anyway. So that's not too bad of a problem. As far as compartment space, comparing it to the Road Glide or the Street Glide, this is what you get on the side compartment. I have a case for my glasses, some extra batteries, and that's pretty much it. You can put glasses or sunglasses in there, and that's all you get. But that's also the hidden button for the gas tank. This lever or latch right here, when it's closed and the bike is off and the key fob is away, all that stuff locks. And you just have the side compartments, the rear compartment that I showed you, and then there's another compartment on the other side. All these are push button, and like I said, they all lock. That's the space you get, and considering also when this is closed, you still have more space to that on the side. The stereo system factory is pretty good. You have the 2 forward speakers, left and right, and then you have the speakers in the rear. I don't feel the need that I would have to actually need to upgrade the speakers, because they're pretty loud and they're nice and clear. The radio stations I don't use, but it doesn't have, well, I guess it does have pretty good radio reception, but again, I'm not listening to AM or FM radio. And I generally nowadays play my music through my speakers a lot in my helmet, or I'm just kind of like enjoying the sounds as I ride on the bike. Speaking far as sound, the exhaust is pretty quiet, but you can hear it. And some of the videos, you can kind of hear the engine revving up in sports mode. And this bike allows you to manually shift. And to manually shift, you have a toggle on this side right here. And you have a toggle on this side right here. And that's also the toggles that you use for the features to put the bike in reverse or to forward walk the bike. You don't have to engage the accelerator in order to forward walk. I haven't tried it. I have a lip on the front of my garage, and I don't know if I could forward walk it up that lift. So real quickly, I'm going to show you the features for the reverse. So I'm gonna turn the bike on first, and it's gonna automatically come up in neutral. I'm gonna just hit the start button. Bike starts. In order to put it in gear to reverse, you have to engage the front brake, and so you push the front brake, and then you push that button right there. Actually, the kickstand is down. So I'm gonna go ahead, move the kickstand. All right, now I can push the button. All right, so now it'll work. And remind you, I'm holding the phone, and basically you're not using anything on the left or right side, and on the left side anyway. But so for reverse, I can now release the brake. I can hit the button. The bike is moving on its own by me engaging the button. Switch hands, as you can see. That's the reverse. And forward, I guess it's called forward walk. I push, and nothing's happening. I probably need to be using two hands. You know what? Emergency brakes up. Something I'm not used to. All right, there we go. So forward. And that's like your forward walk feature, and then you have your reverse. All right, so kind of windy out here. I'm gonna take the bike on in, and using the forward feature, it's not fast, so I doubt if I'm gonna even get over this hump. Yeah, nope, can't get over a hump using that feature. So take it out of this mode, put it in drive. Well, put it in neutral, then put it in drive. Now I should be able to get over the hump. Yep. Alright, so I turned it off like that, but one of the things, I'm gonna turn it back on. One of the things that I like about the bike is when you put the kickstand down, it will automatically turn the bike off. So it's in drive. And if I put the kickstand down, bike cuts off. So I like that feature. A lot of bikes that I own, if you have the kickstand up or down, it's gonna move regardless of, you know, if it's gonna go forward or whatever, whether the kickstand is up or down. I don't like that. I think it's not safe. I know it's self-correcting, because if you do it one time, you will not do it again. So real quickly, I'm going to show you the features for the reverse. So I'm going to turn the bike on first, and it's going to automatically come up in neutral. I'm going to just hit the start button. Bike starts. In order to put it in gear to reverse, you have to engage the front brake, and so you push the front brake, and then you push that button right there. Actually, the kickstand is down. So I'm gonna go ahead, move the kickstand. All right, now I can push the button. All right, so now it'll work. And remind you, I'm holding the phone, and basically you're not using anything on the left or right side, and on the left side anyway. But so for reverse, I can now release the brake. I can hit the button. The bike is moving on phone by me engaging the button. Switch hands, as you can see. That's the reverse. And forward walk, I guess it's called forward walk. I push, and nothing's happening. I probably need to be using two hands. You know what? Emergency brakes up. Something I'm not used to. All right, there we go. So forward, and that's like your forward walk feature, and then you have your reverse. All right, so kind of windy out here. I'm gonna take the bike on in, and using the forward feature, it's not fast, so I doubt if I'm gonna even get over this hump. Yeah, nope, can't get over a hump using that feature. So I'll take it out of this mode, put it in drive. Well, put it in neutral, then put it in drive. Now I should be able to get over the hump. Yep. All right, so I turned it off like that, but one of the things, I'm gonna turn it back on. One of the things that I like about the bike is when you put the kickstand down, it will automatically turn the bike off. So it's in drive, and if I put the kickstand down, the bike cuts off. So I like that feature. A lot of bikes that I own, if you have the kickstand up or down, it's gonna move regardless of, you know, if it's gonna go forward or whatever, whether the kickstand is up or down. I don't like that. I think it's not safe. I know it's self-correcting, because if you do it one time, you will not do it again. So, all right, so what have I done since I've owned it in 200 miles? So I added a plug right here for my battery tender, and I've added the plug for my heated gear, and that's simple. That's basically just connected it to the battery. The battery is right behind this. These two pieces are connected. With the bag open, this pops out, and you just connect it to the battery. Very simple. Inside the trunk, what they did was they put a USB port, and there's also a USB port right here in the side compartment. And where's it at? I know it's in there because I was playing with it. The guy told me, he said, you don't have one in there, but there is one in here. Oh, there it is. It's right here. So USB port is right there. But this USB port is just for charging. It's not to connect the phone to your Apple CarPlay or Android CarPlay. The one in the back actually does. But so what I did, so they expect you for safety to actually have your phone secure in here. And then there's a plug that comes up right there. I just covered this up. I took my seat off, pushed my plug through. There's like a little electrical junction box right there. I could have unplugged it and plugged my phone directly into that port, I guess, but I didn't. So what I did, I took a long iPhone wire or cable, whatever you want to call it, took the seat off, ran it from here to here, seats off, around, and I plugged it in right there. So now when I plug my phone in here, I can charge my phone as well as have it up front for the Apple Android CarPlay. And so, let's see, they do sell highway pegs. The highway peg connects, I don't know, somewhere under here. But I'm 5'10", I have a 32-inch length legs or 30 inseam, and I don't feel like I need to have highway pegs on this bike. I'm comfortable. I would like the foot floorboards. They sell pretty much everywhere, but actually the actual foot floorboards that are by Honda, I like, because they match the rear like this. And there's also a bigger brake cover that goes on here, so you can have more pad to press on the rear brake. I don't have a problem with that, so I don't know if I need that, but I do like the floorboard there. Some of the other things that you can buy is the backrest. and a lot of people like the backrest. This right here for me feels like it's good enough. I will put the backrest on, but I don't know if I actually need it. I like the fact that it does have these solid feeling grips for the rear seat passenger, and the touring model with the airbag automatically comes with these armrest extenders for the rear seat person. I never even ride anyone on the rear, so I don't know. I mean, I could have probably got the model without the tour pack, but I think a tour pack's a good idea to have. So in the front it comes with a 18-inch tire, 18-inch wheel, and a pretty small tire. I feel pretty balanced on that. I have a 21-inch on the Road Glide, and you know, it's cosmetic, and but that 18 feels pretty good, and I like it. This bike has a lot of power. In sports mode, I've actually felt that front wheel come up, or it felt like the front wheel came up a few times, and I just love the power that it has. It's just absolutely not fair to have this much power on a bike. I think it has 125 horsepower. Maybe incorrect, but I know at least 125 horsepower. And this is a 1800cc bike with the straight six. And this thing is just, it's amazing power-wise. So what are the benefits? The benefits of having a bike like this, you know, if for myself, if you have hand or wrist issues and things like that, not having to squeeze the clutch in traffic is you know, that's a benefit. Having a bike with automatic is a benefit. I mean, it's just clutching is not a big deal to me. They sell this model to where you can actually have a clutch, but having it in the automatic is it's pretty relaxing. It's less to do. It's not much less, but it's less to do. It's probably something that over time, you know, maybe it could break. I don't know. It's kind of like having a car that's a stick and automatic. Just like the Vets, they are now paddle shift. And as for this is paddle shift if you want to use that feature. So speaking of that feature, you have the automatic and manual modes. It's where you can shift the gears. That's pretty cool. I'm not a Goldwing professional. This is my first one, and I've only got 200 miles on it. So this is just some of the views that I have on the bike, initial views. I like the fact that you can raise the windshield up or down if you need to. When I have the windshield all the way up, I'm not feeling any wind. I could have my my helmet shield open. I could have on the modular helmet, I can have my face all the way lifted up, not feel any wind at all. In the summertime, if it gets hot, they have this feature where you can lift this up, and aerodynamically, air goes underneath, and you can see how the air will shoot and give you some air even while you have the shield all the way up. So I like that. I like that feature a lot. Price-wise, this is half the price of what you would pay for a CVO. Out the door, $36,000, but retail price for this specific model was $32,900, being as though it's the airbag. You can get these as low as, without the tour pack, as low as I think $27,000. Whereas like you find the you know, not even the tour model Harleys are gonna cost this amount. But what do I like more about my Harley? What I like more about my Harley is between my knees, I actually feel like the engine, the Milwaukee 8 engine, I feel that between the knees on my Harley or Harleys, and you can't put a price on feeling the motor between your knees. And also when you crank down, I guess my coats, I'm putting all my coats on my bike. When you crank down on the accelerator on a Harley, you feel the vibration, you feel the motor, everything. The bike is actually one with you. And that's that's the feeling that people pay for when purchasing a Harley. Yes, Harley has a brand name that is going to come with a higher price tag, but it is an overall experience owning a Harley, with the brotherhood, the camaraderie, everything. The Goldwing has a large community and a large following, but it's nothing like a Harley. I will tell you right off the top that when I'm on this bike and I stop at the gas station, nobody's coming up saying, hey, you know, nice bike, you know, what model is that? They're not saying, you know, oh man, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. But no matter which Harley I'm on, everybody at the gas station, they're coming up, they're looking around the bike, they're taking 2 or 3 looks, and they're like, hey, nice bike. When I'm on the road on this, you don't get the guys, you know, with the, you know, the low finger wave, you know. I mean, do you want to pay an extra $20,000 to get that wave? I don't know. Some people would say, yeah, I like that. I did get a few low waves, and they probably passed me by, and they probably was like, man, I just waved at a dude on a Goldwing. He didn't have a Harley. So it's just the little crazy things that we think about as riders. But I like the Honda Goldwing. It doesn't have that same cool and respect factor, except for maybe riders who've been riding around for a long time. The actual age demographic for Goldwing owners is actually 65 and up. It's the main owners of Goldwings, but I am 52 and I have one and I like it. I like to see a younger generation of riders grab a few of these. I like the new sports bike front end look, and this bike can actually run just like a sports bike. I don't know if I can remove the tour pack on days I don't want to use it, but the model without the tour pack looks pretty sporty to me, and that's one of the things that I like about the new model Goldwing that attracted me to it. This thing really moves when you crank down on the accelerator. I'm calling it accelerator because I can't think of the word, but the throttle, it really moves, and it moves and functions just like a sports bike does. And it's just not fair how much power this thing has. One of the subscribers that I have commented in the box about the Road Glide 131. He said, man, I'll smoke you on my road on his Goldwing. So if I see you out there and I'm on my Harley 131, I'll challenge you to that ride, to that race. Riding both bikes, this might have the upper hand. I'm just pulling off, and it does pull off fast, but I'll still challenge you. I'll run with you on it and see, because when this gets up to top speed, you feel it. But when I'm up to top speed on my Harley, I don't feel it as much. So it's going to depend on the skills of the rider, the guts of the rider, the fearlessness of the rider. And most Harley owners are not. They're fearless, and so we ride with a purpose. Goldwing riders do too. They're not about that life. They are more so about touring, and that's pretty much why I like to have this, because there's days when I just want to chill and get on and just tour in comfort. It's just like having a sports car and a luxury car, and that's the difference. Would I, if one of the three had to go, it wouldn't be my lowrider and it wouldn't be my Road Glide. So it's nice to have one of these. It's probably, I don't know, I would say a Cadillac. I wouldn't say Mercedes because I don't know what other bikes out there are or have to offer, but out of the bikes that I've ridden, this would be so far my Mercedes of the bike. I haven't tried the BMW. I haven't tried some of the other models out, so that remains to be seen. But so far, these are going to be my first impressions of the Goldwing versus the other bikes that I have. Oh yeah, some benefits. First service on a Harley, you got to do first service at 500 miles. First service on a Goldwing is 4,000 miles. The next service after that on the Harley is 1,000 miles. The next service on a Goldwing is gonna be 8,000 miles. So it's 4,000 and then every 8,000 after that. You can't beat that. The gas on a Harley, you have to use premium unleaded. The gas on a Goldwing, you only have to use regular unleaded. So that is a savings in itself. The low price tag is a savings in itself. The comfort, the reliability, the durability, the weight distribution. When you get on this bike, it feels just as light as it does when I get on my lowrider. When I get on my road glide or street glide or whatever, you feel that weight instantaneously. So with that said, there are benefits to owning a Harley and there are benefits to owning a Goldwing. I don't have my road glide in the garage right now, and but I will compare them. I will line them up side by side, and I will push them both to the max, and I will show you in some of the future videos of my reviews as I put more miles on this bike and learn the bike a lot more. I'll continue to talk about features, pros and cons and everything else. And so with that said, that's gonna do it for this episode of Chris Glides and Low Rides. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you guys soon. Later. Have fun down in Bike Week, you guys. Be safe.